Hey gamers, welcome to my game room. AJ from RollingWithRoc here, and on today's episode of Rock Reacts, we will be unboxing the newest expansion to Wingspan, Wingspan the Oceania expansion, designed by Elizabeth Hargrave and published by Stonemaier Games. Oceania is the newest expansion in the Wingspan series. Of course, you have the base game of Wingspan, and we've already seen the European expansion, and you can see that the European expansion and the Oceania expansion are very different box sizes. This is a lot more of a rectangular small box, and this is a more, I mean, it's also a rectangle obviously, but it's a more squarish style. And I have a idea why the box is this shape versus this one. So I want to say a special thank you to Stonemaier Games and Jamie Stickmeyer for sending me Oceania as a review copy. So I am doing the unboxing of this game right now. I will be doing a review of it in the future, and I will be playing this on my Twitch streams sometime Sunday night at 9 p.m. So if you go and follow twitch.tv/RollingWithRoc, very soon, possibly already done or going to be done very, very soon, I will be playing Wingspan Oceania on Twitch. Before we get into the unboxing, I just want to tell everyone a big thank you for checking out my YouTube content and my Twitch content, especially over the last month and a half. I just recently have gotten over a not great sickness, and so the YouTube content really came to a halt. I was still doing Twitch when I wasn't feeling the best, but I wanted to really limit the YouTube content until I started to feel better. So now that I'm feeling better, you should start to see more consistent YouTube content again. So if you're not following the channel already, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow all of my socials. Links are on the channel. You can go over and follow me on Twitch so that you can check out us I go live Sunday nights at 9 p.m. with board game content specifically, but then during the week when I feel like playing games, I will jump on with games like Among Us, Fall Guys, Genshin Impact. I'll play Switch games like Pokemon Sword and Shield, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, and a lot more games that you can check out over on my Twitch channel. So anybody who's already done that, or anybody who will be doing so after seeing this, thank you very much for supporting me in these endeavors. It means a lot. Let's go ahead and get into our unboxing of Wingspan Oceania. Just gonna go ahead and sit that right like there. So first thing we got is our rule books, and of course Stonemaier always has a very cool feel to their rule books. It's not just normal paper. They do something special with their rule books, and they always have really pretty, like they take the art and put it into the game. So like just that is very pretty. You got that right there. But it has the components in the game, how to set up, how to play. It gives you the bird powers with explanations right there. Egg laying powers, card laying. So it tells you every power in the game. And then if there's any clarifications that need to happen, it includes them on here as well. So that's really nice. The Automa rules, because most, if not all, Stonemaier games come with some sort of way to play Automa, which is always great, especially since most of my Sunday night streams are solo, especially on the table ones. It's great that this has an Automa, because I plan to play that way. So there you go. There's your Automa Wingspan Oceania. You have more beautiful card art on the back of the Automa. I can't imagine there's too many differences between this Automa and the regular Wingspan Oceania, but I will have to read that and find out. I do see that they added a 2 to 4 players against an Automa variant, which is very interesting. So it can add another player to your game. We have our yellow eggs. I think they're yellow. They're either yellow or orange. They look yellow to me though. This makes me extremely happy as someone whose favorite color is yellow. I love that we got a whole package of yellow eggs. I will be using those exclusively going forward until I have to use a different color because I don't have enough of those. We also have new dice, which is very interesting. So they gave us a set of 5 new dice, and I can see already what that reasoning is. Huh, that's very interesting. Are all dice the same? They seem to be. Yeah, they seem to be. All dice 1. Yeah, okay. So this is very interesting. I'm going to get out a regular Wingspan die to compare. Where are they at? We're in the bird feeder, obviously. Okay. Just go ahead and put that back up. That right now. So on the original die, you had all 5 food options: the invertebrate, the fruit, the wheat, the fish, and the rat, all on the die, plus a invertebrate and wheat combo spot, like that. Now, on this die, you still have the fish, the invertebrate, and the rat as solo spots on the die as well. But now in the fruit spot, or the cherry spot, and the wheat spot, they've added a combo thing for the, I believe it is the nectar symbol. So in both of those, there's a nectar symbol. And then you still have your combo, where is it at? Yeah, you still have your combo wheat and invertebrate. So that is an interesting difference. So now you have more ways, not more ways, you have ways of getting this nectar token on 2 of the 6 sides of the die, which is actually more than anything other than the invertebrate, which is also 2, I believe. The invertebrate and the wheat, yes. So invertebrate, wheat, and nectar are the most common types of food that you can get in Wingspan Oceania. We have cards. I will get to those. We have a new score plat for your multiplayer side, and you have the Automa side. So that's nice. You have double-sided things there. They give us a bag to put tokens in, which is always appreciated. You can play a Wingspan. Oh, Wingspan Digital Edition, 30% off coupon. Well, I already have Wingspan on Steam. That's a shame. But that's okay. That's okay. So here is, we have 4 new goals. 4 new gold tiles. Both sides are double-sided. As well as a bunch of nectar tokens. A lot of nectar tokens. Let's go ahead and look at these. Oh, and a new end of round reference. So we have rats or fish in food cost on your birds. Cherries and wheat in food cost on your birds. Birds worth less than or equal to 3 points, which I feel like we've had something similar to that. Oh, that's as a gold card, not as a gold tile for like an end of round scoring. And then beak, that's really interesting. Birds who have a beak pointing to the right. I'm assuming the other side is beak to the left. Indeed, beak pointing to the left. That's extremely funny. You have the invertebrate in food cost on your birds, or like the worms. I call them invertebrates. I think that's what they're supposed to be. You have one that specifically is no goal, which is very interesting to me. So you could have a no goal goal. I don't know if I like that, but it's definitely different. And then cubes on play a bird. Okay. So the amount of times you played a bird in that round, you can get points for. Then now we have the end of round reference, which is use end of round bird powers. Discard any unused nectar. That's the difference, is because you got to discard. You cannot carry nectar over from one round to another, it looks like. You score your end of round goals. You remove all action cubes. Discard and replace all cards in the bird tray. If round 4 is over, use game end powers. Otherwise, pass the first player token. So yeah, now you have round end powers from the European expansion, right here. These cards have round end powers. The Oceania expansion has game end powers, and of course, cards that use the nectar. So we'll have those. Now, one of the biggest things is in, I don't need to get them all out, I'll just get one out. This expansion, and the reason why it was the shape it was, unlike the European one, is they give you new playmats for the game. And a lot, I believe, has changed. Let me see if I can get to one of my playmats. Of course, the playmats are always on the bottom of the box. Here we go. So let's go ahead and open up a playmat. First thing I can tell is that the art style is very different. So this one right here is from the original Wingspan. This one right here is from Oceania. You can see the difference in the color palette just alone. So the art style is very different. And honestly, I like this one more just because I don't usually go for like super bright kind of style and art. I like the darker stuff because it's not like, it doesn't hurt my eyes as much. So that's interesting. Now what I want to look at, actually I was holding that upside down the whole time. It should be that way. Now what I want to look at here is the difference in the distribution of everything. 1 egg, 1 egg, 2 egg, 2 egg. So spending the eggs is the same. 1 food, 2 food versus 1 food. Okay, so you can get more food earlier on in the Oceania because it's 2 food, 2 food, 2 food, and then 3 food, and then 4 food. And this is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And this has discard a card to get a food in 4 of the 5 action spaces. Only in the second spot can you not discard a food to get another food. Discard a card to get another food. But it looks like, if I understand the symbolage correctly, you can discard a food to re-roll the die. So if you have I mean, I don't know how useful that is. It may be. Because you can always turn in 2 food for 1 food. So if you're spending, I mean, I guess if you have more than 1 action to get food, but at this point you're only getting 2 food. I'd have to see how beneficial that power is, if I'm understanding that symbolage correctly. Because it has a food, and then it has like a little circle with an arrow on the die. It makes me think it's a reroll action. But if you can already spend 2 food to get any 1 food, and you're spending a food to reroll dice so you can pick up a food, isn't that the same? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. Okay, so we'll leave food alone now. We'll go down to the eggs area. You have, okay, that's interesting. You're definitely getting less eggs on Oceania. Because in the regular game, it was 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and on the second and fourth spot, you could discard a food to get an extra egg. And this one, it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. However, you can discard cards or food to get eggs on 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And in the 4th spot, you can, or the 4th column, you can actually do that twice. So you're getting less eggs on the basic action, but there are more opportunities to turn in for that extra egg. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's still less eggs overall though. So far we have opportunities for more food, because that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, we had 3 more food opportunities, but 1 or 2 more, or 2 less egg opportunities on the first 5 actions, not counting the farthest to the right row. Now for cards, you can okay, so there's nectar down here. You can discard eggs or nectar to get more cards now. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. No, 1, 1. Okay, so the second slot in the water area is now a 2-card draw instead of a 1-card draw. And you have more opportunities for discarding cards. So this has more card drawing opportunities as well. So Oceania, you can get more cards, you can get more food, but you get less eggs. That's an interesting dynamic. I don't feel like people struggle for eggs too often, and I know a lot of times at the end of a game of Wingspan, people will really spam the egg draw, especially since you only have to have be in this these first 2 to get 3 eggs in the regular game. Now in this one, to get 3 eggs, unless you discard stuff, you have to be all the way in the 5th one. So you won't be able to spam eggs as much, especially in the late game, unless you really prioritize that row. So this looks like it's really going to change the dynamic of how Wingspan plays, which I really, really like. You also have the spent nectar over here. So at the game end, you're going to get points if you spent nectar in these areas on birds or whatever you have to do that. So you're going to get 5 points for first or 2 points for second, maybe. It says for majority. That might depend on player counts. I will have to read the rules on that. But that is one of the big differences in this game versus a regular Wingspan is the board. Of course, the other big thing is we get a whole bunch of new bird cards. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these real quick. And that will be this unboxing. See if we can get these open without too much trouble here. There we go. So there's one card specifically in here that I'm going to be very, very happy about. We have Australian Shover. Choose one other player. You both draw 1 card from the deck. Okay. Australian Ibis, Australian Shelduck, Australian Zebrafish, or Finch, not Zebrafish. Draw 1 face up from you may reset the tray. If the player to your right has a wheat, it looks like they're really, might be more focused on interaction a little bit. Maybe not. Reset the bird feeder. Choose one other player. They lay an egg. You draw 2 cards. More vulturing actions. Tuck the smallest bird in the tray behind this bird. Oh. I really like that one. Okay. So this is a tuck card. It's not worth any points when you make it. But if you get it early, every time you activate it, you're tucking a card behind it. Because it's the smallest card in the bird tray, or by Wingspan. That means it doesn't matter what the Wingspan is. The smallest one could be 30. The smallest one could be 110. You're tucking that card behind this bird. So if you get it early, you can earn a good amount of points from this bird with tuck cards. That's a really, really cool ability. I like that a lot. Cockatoo. That's really cute. Oh, look at that. I love that. Look how cute that is. Count Raggy's Bird of Paradise. Ooh, choose one other player. You both gain a fruit from the supply. Very beautiful. I love the art in this game. A Crimson Chat. Eastern Roselia. Now this is a cool thing too. This is an emu. Emus do not fly. Therefore, even though they have wings, they do not list a wingspan on flightless birds. And that's how you know they're flightless in this game. The Wingspan Oceania is the first cards in the deck to have no wingspan, because they're the first cards in the game that have flightless birds. And that's something that's going to be very, very cool. You have more vulturing birds. the powers in this, like, I'm not going to be able to show you or tell you about all of them, but there's a lot of cool powers. And now, like, here, this Korimako has nectar as a food requirement. So you have to get food for specific, or you have to get nectar for some of these birds. But its ability is, you may discard any number of rats to gain that many nectar from the supply. So you can, once you have it, you can use that to get more nectar. Basically anything that you get as a rat can be a nectar as well. So that's a very cool. Let's see if we can find some more flightless. Oh, here he is. Okay, so I'm wearing my Orioles shirt because I am from Baltimore. The Baltimore Oriole is my favorite card in Wingspan. However, penguins are my favorite animal. That we now have a little penguin in Wingspan. When we get to other continents in the southern hemisphere, Africa, South America, and Antarctica, we will get more penguins. And it's already been confirmed by Stonemaier they will be doing more, all the continents eventually. They just haven't said what order, like we did Europe and now we did Oceania. There will be more penguins. But for now, this cute little penguin has become one of my favorite cards in the game, along with the Baltimore Oriole. It costs 3 fish. It's another high point cost. So the Baltimore Oriole is 9. I don't know if there's any ones that are worth more than 9 in this deck. I haven't. There's a 9. I think 9 is the highest point card cost. I don't know if they've added any new ones in here that are 10. But this is a 7. It's also a star nest, just like the Baltimore Oriole. And then it has draw and discard 5 cards from the deck. For each fish in their food cost, you catch 1 fish from the supply on this bird. That's very cool. You're going through the deck more. You're drawing cards from the deck, 5 of them every time you activate him. And he only can activate he can only be in the water area. But I like his power. He has 2 eggs, so he's a nest, star nest, which is really, really important too. And high points. Great card in my opinion. And of course, like I said, he is, penguins are flightless birds. They don't have a wingspan. So something different there. Now, I have to find out when it comes to, in the rule book, when it's talking about like the smallest birds, are wingspanless birds considered small or big or not considered as part of that at all? That's what I need to read in the rules. See if there's any other cool powers before I let you go for this one. Of course, there's another deck here. Oh, that's beautiful. A rainbow Lorikeet. It requires nectar, and the power has something to do with nectar. See, there is, look at that beautiful bird. Very, very cool. Not a high point cost bird, but can't all be. I will say, like, not all of them, but there seems to be a good amount of birds that have powers that do something with somebody else, which I think a lot of people will appreciate more interaction in Wingspan, because a lot of times you can just kind of play Wingspan on your own. You play a 3 or 4 or 5 player game. Wait, can you play 5? Yeah, I think so. But you're kind of just doing your own thing for the most part. Every once in a while people help because of different powers, but I think having more powers like that is good. To copy a brown power on 1 bird in the forest area of the player. Oh, that's really interesting. When activated, this is placed in the forest. It requires an invertebrate and 2 nectar. Copy a brown power on 1 bird in the forest of the player to your left. That's very, very cool. I'll show you what that bird looks like. Boop. A lot of other powers. There's not too many flightless birds in here, which is... Oh, okay, here's something else we had to get to. Let's get to all these, All of these cards here, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards in the game have these yellow game end powers. So these game ends are things like tuck one card from the deck behind each bird in your grasslands area, including this one. Discard one egg from each bird in this row and column that has an egg on it, excluding this bird. For each egg discarded, catch 2 wheat from the supply on this bird. Okay, so at the very end of the game, you discard all of your eggs, or in that row in the column that this bird's in. But you're making up 2 wheat for that on the bird. So you're gaining 1 point per bird in the row in the column that this bird's in, basically. Catch up to 5 food from the supply on this bird, just again. So that's 5 extra points. So this bird in itself is worth 7 points. Plus the 5 that you would catch at the end. This bird's actually worth 12 points, just right off the bat, because you will always catch those 5 food at the end of the game. That's very cool. So the Australian raven, at least off the top of my head, is the highest point just base getter in the game now. It does cost an invertebrate, a rat, and any 1 food, and can be played in any habitat. So that's very, very cool. The raven is a card that we definitely want to look at. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a wingspan over 100 centimeters, including this one. That's the black swan. That's hard. Okay, the crested pigeon requires only 1 wheat to play into the grassland. It's a base 3 points, but again, catch up to 8 wheat from the supply on this bird. That means this bird is worth 11 points. Now, I don't know why you would not catch all the way up to 8 unless there wasn't enough food to do so. That could be a thing. I'll have to find out if in Wingspan, I can't remember, if the supplies are limited. I've never ran into that problem before, but if you're going to have a lot of powers like this where you're going to be taking cards from the supply, maybe that will come into play. Game end. Play a bird, pay its normal food cost and egg cost. If it has a when played or game end power, you may use it. Okay. Play a bird, pay its normal food cost, but ignore 1 egg in its cost. If it has a when played or game end power, you may use it. Draw 4 bonus cards. Keep 1 and discard the other 3. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of a pressure luck at the very end of the game. You can just get an extra bonus card. You can need 4 of them. Hopefully 1 of them hits for what you have set up. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a stick nest, including this one. Okay. Discard 2 eggs from your forest. If you do, play 1 bird in your grassland at its normal food cost. You ignore the egg cost, and then you can do the powers if you have them. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a ground nest, including this one. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a ground nest. They have the same round end power. I wonder if that was meant to be like that. That's kind of interesting. For every 2 eggs in your water, lay 1 egg on this bird, and he can have up to 6 eggs. But he's also a water bird, so you would have to have your eggs on somebody else prior to that. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a star nest, including this one. I really like that one. This is the red-backed fairy wren. Cute little bird. I like that a lot because I really like to prioritize the star nest, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too because they cover all nest types. Lay 1 egg on each of your birds with a wingspan less than 30 centimeters. So the splendid fairy wren goes great with the goal powers, the goal cards and the goal tiles for less than 30 centimeter birds. And then you lay 1 egg on each of your birds in the water, including this one. Very, very cool yellow powers. I'm very interested to see how those play. Of course, now we have our when played white powers on a bunch more birds. We have our northern island brown kiwi, which is another bird with no wingspan, and another star-end bird. Discard a bonus card. If you do, draw 4 bonus cards and keep 2. So if you're playing the game, you had to keep a bonus card that you didn't like in the beginning, you find this one, you can trash that and get 2 new ones that might be better for you. I like that. That's cool. More keeping bonus cards, getting nectar. Look through all the discarded bonus cards and keep 1 of them. That's very cool. Then, of course, we have new bonus cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sets of 4 nest types. One set equals 1 of each. Each star nest can be treated as any 1 nest type. No card can be more than one set. So that's interesting. If you have one set, you get 3 points. If you have 2 sets, you have 8 points. Columns with matching pair of trio of nests. Interesting. Consecutive birds in water with ascending or descending wingspan. Oh my gosh, does that sound hard to do. So if you have 3 consecutive birds, you get 3. 4 is 5. 5 birds of consecutive ascending or descending wingspans is 8 points. That sounds extremely hard to do. I feel like that should be worth more points, because that does not sound easy. To go in ascending or descending order specifically in your water area does not sound easy. Maybe it's easier than it is in my head. Forest data analysis. Collective birds with the forest with ascending or descending, same point values. And then the same thing in the grassland. So those are our goal cards for Wingspan Oceania. And then we have the Automa cards. Automa and Automazara. Spent Nectar Collection. Okay. I will have to read about the Automa cards, but that will become important when I stream this game. But that is Wingspan Oceania. A very detailed unboxing. Show you a bunch of these cards just real quick. You can see all the birds. They're gorgeous. The art in Wingspan is just amazing. The detail that has to be put in this game to make sure that all the goal card percentages work out every time they come out with a new expansion is very, very cool. Just gonna see all the birds. I am super excited to play this game. I am very excited to give you guys a review of it very soon. There's the little penguin again. You can just see them all. But I mean, at its core, and this is the thing that I like from expansions the most, it didn't change the game much. We're not doing a bunch of different stuff. Yes, we have another food with nectar. That's going to be important. You know, you have all these nectar tokens, and you have game end powers now. But there's not like another sideboard or another million different things to be doing in here. At its core, you're still playing Wingspan. The European expansion didn't change the game. It just added to it in a nice way. It's looking like, and again, I haven't played it yet, but just based off of what I've seen, it's looking like Wingspan Oceania is also doing the same thing. It's not adding anything too extra to the game, making it super complicated or making it go from what makes Wingspan so great away from that. And I think that's going to be a key for every expansion of Wingspan, to add something a little bit extra, add a little niche to it, like the round end powers or the game end powers or the nectar or a different playmat like this. But again, not change the game so radically that it doesn't feel like you're playing Wingspan anymore. Sometimes when games get expansions added, it does that. So far, I definitely agree that the European expansion didn't do that. It kept the game feeling like Wingspan. Just based off my unboxing, I have a very sinking suspicion that the Oceania expansion will keep the game feeling like Wingspan. But that is it for this unboxing. Thank you so much for checking out this video of unboxing Wingspan Oceania. Like I said, make sure you check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/RollingWithRoc, where I play board games every Sunday night at 9 p.m., as well as do a bunch of different stuff during the week. I will be playing this live probably a couple times on my Twitch channel very, very soon. You can check out my review of Wingspan and Wingspan European Expansion by clicking on the video above your head right now, as well as checking out my Stonemaier games playlist, as I have covered a bunch of Stonemaier games and will be continuing to do so here soon in the near future. You can check out any of that content if you like anything that you've seen from Rolling with Rock recently, including my Rocktober content, where I did a new video every day of the month for the month of Rocktober. Go ahead and give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've gotten Oceania, if you have Wingspan or the European expansion already, what you think of the game. If you check out my top 5 videos of all time, or the top 5 games of all time, you will see that I'm very high on Wingspan. And please go ahead and share this video and my channel with friends that you feel enjoy board game content as well. I would really like to get to 200 YouTube subscribers before the end of the year if possible. I think that's something that is attainable, and if you could help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Go ahead and check out some more of the Stonemaier content. You can check out my Rocktober playlist, and let me know what you think of any of my videos. If you have any suggestions on how to improve my content, you can get a hold of me on Twitter. You can leave comments down below. And I am always welcome to hearing ways that I can improve. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and we'll see you next time. This was AJ from Rolling with Rock.